going to give you a few tips and drills for your handstand practice. The number one recommendation for getting into handstand is do handstand. Then, like, if you're trying to get crow, do crow. If you're trying to get wheel, do wheel. If you're trying to get handstand, do handstand. Repetition was one thing that was recommended to me a while ago, and it has been the most obvious but helpful tip to finally come to grips with. So if you're struggling with something, just notice how often are you doing it, and try to do it every day, and you'll find a lot of success. But there's also things like strength and flexibility that you need to work into a lot of poses. But I'm going to give you 3 drills, if you will, that help with my handstand practice. So the first one is going to be L stands. So this helped not only with going upside down, getting comfortable with going upside down and building a ton of core strength, but especially working into that back core strength. So it takes a lot to lift and hold into your handstand. And if you have low back pain, this is also the number one exercise that I use to recover from low back pain. So a lot of times we think that it's a tight back, and sometimes it is. A lot of times we round so much in our daily life that the muscles in our low backs are actually stretched, kind of like bubble gum. And so they're inflamed. And so stretching them more is going to just really weaken that muscle even more and cause more pain. But if we work into strengthening them, we'll tighten that muscle back up into that perfect level of tight and flexible. And then that is also ideal for what we want in our inversion practice. So I'm going to show you the L stand. You might have seen this before, but when I first started doing L stands, I could do this for maybe 3 breaths. So what I do is try to do this 3 times. These practices, if you can do them consecutively 30 days in a row, take that challenge on, you will find a ton of progress. But so start with trying to do 10 breaths at a time and three rounds. So with the L stand, you take your, these are all practices on a wall. So you take your hands into a short down dog and then walk your feet up the wall. So you can start with your knees bent, and then you just find the spot where you're going to be able to straighten your legs. And like I said, when you first start doing this, you might be able to do it for 1 or 2 seconds, but then over time, you'll be able to do it for much longer. So I can really feel those low back muscles working a ton right now. Push the floor down and straighten your arms. And then do that for 10 breaths, 3 times. I'll let you do that on your own. The next one that we're going to do is handstand on the wall. So just staying in handstand is challenging. So a lot of times when we hop up into handstand, we'll stay for like a second, a half a second, a couple seconds. And really it's more about luck that we land in the right place than it is about holding ourselves up there with our strength. So get familiar with being upside down. So this next exercise is doing handstand against the wall for 1 minute. So you'll just take your typical handstand, and if you flail up against the wall, great, no big deal. You can work on the nice slow lift up later, but just make your way to the wall. And it's not about coming away or balancing on the wall at first. You just hold here for about a minute. You can set your timer on your phone right by you. And then after that, you can play with starting to lift your feet away from the wall. And just back and forth, back and forth. And then just trying to come down slowly to build that strength. So again, 3 sets of those, and you'll really start to build some arm strength into that. And then just some familiarity, some comfort with going up and coming down. The third thing that we're going to do today is play with a block. So lifting into your handstand a little bit more than flailing. So again, if you want, feel free to use the wall. But this is going to help you work more into the strength than the momentum. Momentum is great to come over fear, and then when you've gotten over that fear, work into the strength. So you place the block underneath your foot. Take your, whichever leg is lifted up, and try to bring your shoulders over your wrists here. And then you lift, and just take these little hops. And see if you can just come down as slowly as possible. So you're gonna start to feel the weight shifting forward into your arms, into your shoulders, and it's gonna be less, and you'll start to feel a controlled coming down into your core. You're gonna feel everything light up. So don't think about going up so high on those. Think about just coming down and maybe even creating like that 1 second, 3 seconds of pause where you're just holding there. Do that about 10, 20 reps of those, and you'll really start to see some progress as well. So you can feel all of this stuff. I'm starting to get out of breath. This is hard work, really powerful movements in small movements. Last thing I'm going to show you is the hops. So these are called, you've maybe heard of them as frog hops or handstand hops. Another great tool and a different way to get into handstand as well. But you do this every time you come to the front of your mat. So you get to practice it throughout your flow over and over and over again, mixed in. So even if you're not taking the time throughout your day, but you are in a regular yoga practice, you'll be able to fit this in. So I'm gonna walk you through what this looks like. What you wanna do is have a straight arms, and you'll take a little bit usually shorter down dog. So you can do these against the wall again. I'll show you that in a moment, but just so you can see from this angle. So you'll lift your heels up high, bend your knees, and then notice that my shoulders are over top of my wrists, and actually even a good bit more forward over my fingertips. So you'll lift your heels, bend your knees, gaze is gonna come about a foot in front of you, and then just explode up. So trying to kick your own butt is a good cue, so you just bring your heels up and kick your butt. And then over time, you'll start to create a little bit of pause as you get vertical. If you're nervous about going over, go to the wall, and the wall will catch you. I'll show you what that looks like. So again, shorten down dog, heels come high, gaze come forward, shoulders over your wrists, and hop. And that little bit of sense of security comes from the wall. Usually the one way that we come out of this is we accidentally go into handstand. So that'll help you get familiar with that too. And then just trying to come down the same way you came in. So good luck with your handstand practice. Again, do this every day. These are things that help me so much to reach that next plateau, next plateau, next plateau. You'll start to feel stuck in some of these more advanced postures in your practice. But I would say repetition and drills, strength drills, are the thing that's going to propel you to that next level. Have a great day.